All right, YouTube. What's up? What's up? This will be my first video for this channel. My vision is to have it be a sort of collection of rants that I typically give to my friends, but you know, I'd like to put it on a platform and, entertain some type of back and forth from, like, I'd say like a non-echo chamber space, right? You'd all like on this app, you'll always find contrarians, and it's kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to like what I typically speak about. But yeah, this will be like kind of a voiceover style channel. Like I don't plan on doing get ready with me's and outfit of the days or some bullshit like that, right? but but yeah, none of this gameplay is mine, by the way. This is just YouTube. You can even see right here. This is literally YouTube. Hopefully this guy doesn't fucking take my video down, but if he does, that means I'm making rounds across the web, right? Like for that to happen. But yeah, so I'd say like I said, I haven't chosen a niche, but I'm a nut job. Like I am a conspiracy theorist by trade. No, but yeah, no, I am a conspiracy theorist, right? I wear tinfoil hat all the time, so I'm gonna be bringing up like those kind of topics, right? And if I see any pull towards any adjacent topic that I do bring up, I'd pivot. But starting off, I'm I'm just gonna rant about a little bit about behavioral sync, right? And post capitalism. Perfect space. If you're watching this shit, it's because you choose to, But also, like, hopefully, some people, they don't know. They never heard of this shit before. But yeah, so there was this study done in like the 20th century, right? It's on go on the channel Into the Rabbit Hole, Universe 25. He it's the proper telling of the story, but just to sum up quickly, like in like the 1960s, I'd say, when like psychology was still a new field, right? There was this professor called Professor Calhoun, right? And he created like a utopia for rats, right? Rats are the perfect test subject because they're very smart and they have a short lifespan, so they're manageable generation wise. So you can do a lot of like studies. And he wanted to see what would happen to an animal if they were in heaven, right? They had total protection, like no security or no threats from predators, all the food in the world, all of the water, like everything, right? And he said like, okay, this will be a nice baseline to try to like compare towards like humanity, because that's kind of what we have total security. The only threats that we have are from ourselves. Sometimes you get hit by lightning, that's nature, but yeah, no, otherwise you get the only predator is another human, right? We have infinite food, right? The agriculture, that's a infinite food glitch. And yeah, we have shelter because we can build it instead of looking for one, right? Like, so he went and did this study, and what he found out was, right, there's a there's like a phenomenon for like societal decay that occurs. People, and it had to do with the way the experiments first started, right? But he first it started in like this forest, and it was just this like nice enclosure where the rats couldn't really escape and dig tunnels out of. Um, but he found that even with the infinite amount of food that they had, right, all the security, they hit a peak in their population, and then they just started whittling away, and then they went extinct. All right, that little those subjects, and that was baffling because humans, on the other hand, you know, they do say we're gonna cap out at 11 billion or 12 billion, but that's because we won't be able to feed the rest of humanity, right? Like that's but for these rats, they had all the food that they needed, right? They had all the food that they needed. They had all the energy, like heating and like why did they not just exponentially grow and infest the lab, right? Well, or the outside enclosure. And it had to do with this decay factor that was never found, right? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like equate this because that's what the professor also said. He's trying to equate this to society, right? So he was like, okay, well, we see that there's a bottleneck for no fucking reason, right? Let's go and look and put them in like a city-like environment where they're kind of cramped. You know, their nests or burrows or dens or like skyscraper esque where they like layered above each other. Their feeding grounds instead of being scattered will be close together to promote social, you know, to promote like a tight knit kind of village like society. Um, and it will be somewhat cramped but still like humane in the end in essence, right? Like there's no animal cruelty going on. Like they found that nice in between with the size, and he ran the experiment, right? And he found that the upper echelon of males, right, would create harems and force the less desirables out, right? And this is part of the societal decay, right? But he got to see it a bit more like closely because they were all so close together. He was more able to track it. He saw yeah, like only like a sort of like elite rats, right, would go and keep the majority of the women, like that 80-20 rule, right? And the other 80% of males, right, that didn't get anything would go and fucking rape. Right, this is already YouTube, right? I'm already getting demonetized, but they would go and hurt and force themselves upon mothers that were giving birth and and whatnot. They would go and eat from the dead bodies, right? They would become cannibals. It just decayed it. Watch that video, and basically what I'm saying is, right, those those males created an imbalance, right? And now everybody's needs were not met. So those rats, because they only live on impulse control, their instincts is what kept them alive, right? For generations, they're going by their instincts. Their instinct says to go and force themselves upon nursing mothers because they're giving off pheromones. They go and do it. Um, some of the rats decided to flip their sexuality, men, and they would become transgender, and you think this is a fucking joke, right? But yeah, they would switch their sexuality and then enter the harem. And the funny part is the Chads would accept them, right? And then yeah, it's like sick all around, right? um Unlike goldfish that or like fish that actually have to change gender or whatever, like if there's not enough women in the school of fish, this was solely because of good feels, bro. Like that was why he just wasn't sexually satisfied, so he went and did a sex change, or not really a sex change, but did he just let him? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, right? That it's happening to rats. And then there was another part of the undesirable men that would become incels, but in so far as they become like MGTOW, like men going their own way, they would become the uh the pretty ones, right? Like they would overly groom themselves. They wouldn't look at a woman. They'd go eat, go back home, go eat, go back home, and die peacefully. Like they just dejected from the tree of life. They're like, I'm gonna live a good life, and I don't give a fuck about propagation of my genes when that's like all the animal really is useful for. Um. So yeah, so this professor equated this to our society, right? We already know we're gonna peak at like 11 or 12 billion, right? We're at 8 billion now. We already know we're gonna peak, right? But we said it's because of the lack of food and the lack of energy, right? That's why people would downsize, right? It wouldn't be a choice. But what I'm trying to say is there is societal decay, and I'm echoing this, Professor. There is societal decay going on, right? Inner cities are decrepit, right? And another thing with uh the the rats, right? The women that would nurse, they would neglect their young and go back into the fucking harem because they could just get more kids. I'm not making this up, right? And the kids would then grow up without learning like rat manners, and then they'd become misaligned, right? Like they yeah, and that would continue, and it would corrupt and like skew the natural like behavior of rats, right? Like whether the rat is growing up as a male or female, they'd become off, you know? This just kept going on, and then it came to a point where they were fertile, but they were not like viable parents at all. They were just fucking junkies, like dopamine junkies. You see why I'm bringing this up, right? You see why I'm bringing this up. Like, we are dopamine junkies, right? We itch for the next hit of feels good, bro. That's what we're doing every fucking day, right? Um, there is like a serious 80-20 split, but that's okay, right? Like I'm all for it. But what I'm saying is with the inner city situation, when you put them together very close, it ramps up societal decay. And outside of like when you're in a village and you're spread apart, and you know, so having to do something every day, right? Having to forage for food, right? Or to innovate, right? To till the field as like a peasant would, right? The peasant looks at the field like I'm a slave to it, right? But without the field, we turn into these rats that, like, with infinite food, we turn into less than animals. I'd say those fucking animals are worse than they're demons. Like they're actual fucking demons, these rats, right? But they're a product of their environment too, right? And that's what's happening here, right? Like you have teen moms, right? I know that's happened all across history, but you have teen moms, right? They just go and openly like just abort the kid, like without abortion. Oh my, thank God for imagine abortion was not a thing, bro. The fucking the heathens would that would roam like the fucking decrepit people. That over there they wouldn't abort the kids. In the rat society, they'd eat the kids. You know what I mean? And that we're not too far from it. You know what I mean? We're not too far from fucking people eating kids. So I hope you already see the tempo of this YouTube channel. I don't give a shit if it I don't really care if it gets banned or whatever. It's fine, right? Please don't report this. But God, I'm just trying to say, right? Like we are up for societal decay. Like it's happening. This is called the word for this, right? It's behavioral sync, right? Behavioral sync. That's what's going on, right? Um, there's that, right? There's also, and it explains like the other sexualities that happen, because I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, you live your life how you want, right? If you want to, if you want to, euthanize. Let's just say that. If you want to euthanize yourself, go ahead, right? I don't have the same moral uh foundation as other people, right? Like so I don't really care if you want to go and snip your little wiener off. If you don't want to, it's okay, go ahead, right? But leave the kids out of it, right? Leave the kids. So here, and also I'm not Republican or liberal, okay? I'm none of that shit. So yeah, just getting that out of the way. Like, if I do echo some of their talking points, it's not because like I'm part of that party, okay? But yeah, so you when I was a kid, right? before the whole like gay pride thing came about, like in full force, right? Like before it was like institutionalized, I'd say. But before yeah, right? It was all of the weird kids. It was already the weird kids that would turn LGBT. That's like it's such a it's such a obvious thing. It's like you're a social reject. You're a nerd, okay? And at the same time, with the stop bullying, right, movement, when I believe bullying is like is a good thing, like to a degree, of course, right? Everything is the poison's in the dosage, right? But aside from that, you would stop bullying the nerds, right? And then the nerds then found out that they got a fucking glitch. They can actually become sexually marketable if they flip genders, right? That's what happened in the rat fucking village, bro. That's exactly what happened in that rat heaven. I swear to God, those rat incels couldn't um meet their sexual desires, so they went into the harem and flipped gender, and then now they're living life. You know, the rats would like they all had all the food they wanted. Like what can you? So yeah, they don't have a purpose. You know, that's basically what I'm saying. You don't have a purpose if you have all the food you need. You don't have a purpose if. So these rats were like, okay, well, the only thing, like, if I already eat good every day, if I already have all the water, you know, shelter, I want to have fun, but I can't have fun because I can't get into the harem. You know, and because my cellular biology, like everything about me, wants to propagate, that need for propagation overrides my morality, and I'm gonna go and do whatever I can to so they'll go into the burrows and the dens and they take advantage of the mothers. You know what I mean? So yeah, that and that's happening. Like look at Chris Chan, bro. The Chris Chan is a prime example of the of that. Like I hope you're getting the picture of what I'm saying. Like it's only getting worse from here. Every generation, like people are like, normalize that, normalize this. Why wasn't it normalized to begin with, right? Why wasn't like I like first it started out with normalized race relations, right? Like these guys are the others, right? Be it any country that you're from, normalize relations with them. Okay, that's 100% understandable. As a globalizing world, you have to normalize. You know that there's trade going on. There are diplomats going on. There are expats. There are, you know, international students. There's the innovation going on overseas. You have to go and trade. You know, that's what it's all about. That's the whole Silk Road. That's why they went west and sailed to India, quote unquote. You know, to get past the middlemen, right? It's all globalization, right? But then it went to from race. Then it's normalized uh having women in the workplace, right? And okay, sure. If you want to be in the workplace and instead of being a mother, you want to be in the workplace or you want to like have a have an opportunity to that lifestyle, you shouldn't be forced to not to, right? So like go ahead, right? Like, you know, you can do that. And we found a nice compromise, maternal leave kind of thing, right? And then we gave the father paternal leave, right? Afterwards. Sure, right? That's understandable. Go ahead, right? There's drawbacks to everything, but go ahead, right? But then it's like, okay, well, we got the race, we got the women. What's another more normalization we can do, right? What's another like the LGBT, and also with LGBT, right? I have a huge theory about that, but I'm not one to, like how to explain it. Like if you want to commit self harm, fine. I don't care. I literally don't care, right? But if the children are not allowed to check each other, right? If I went to school, right? Let's say I went to school and my iPod case had the Hello Kitty on it, right? And I'm a boy, of course, right? I'm gonna get clowned. People are gonna make fun of me, right? What are you wearing? What the fuck, right? Or what do you have on your phone? Are you a pile of sticks, right? Like that word. So I'm gonna resist, right? I'm gonna be like, okay, what do people typically wear as a man, right? Or as a for their phone case, right? Oh, they usually have clear phone cases. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's a check. They check you because it's like it's like an internal reforming like force. It's good, like to a degree. Like you don't want the child to be hurt like physically, but if I go and if you take that factor completely out of it, you're gonna have kids doing the wildest. And you go on TikTok, and before like the internet and before mass globalization of like information, w- your little sub community wouldn't be viable in your high school. Okay, you're a brony, right? For example, you're not gonna find another brony, and to come out the closet and find another brony, it's gonna you're gonna have to sacrifice. Like, what if what if he tells other guys? What if she tells other girls, right? So like you're forced to closet and live a double face, but then that other face, it's like you're part of society. Like you're aligned, But now I can go on my little sub community. There's this one girl, I forgot her name, right? But she's like anorexic, like crazy, and like her community is encouraging it. Yeah, don't eat, girl. Don't eat. I forgot her name. She's like a goth girl or whatever. There's no check to that with the internet. And then, because she could just run to the internet and live on there, and she can find hundreds of people just like her, and she finds a sense of community, sense of belonging, sense of tribe, and then she goes to school, and then she can't get bullied whatsoever. So she's gonna grow up as an adult that way, and then now you have the Zoomer problem, right? You have the late millennial problem, right? If a girl comes with armpit hair, they're gonna clown her. Now they can't get clowned. Like you get what I'm saying? So it's all behavioral sync. It's all stems back to that Professor Calhoun's, Heaven 25, I think, experiment with the rats, right? That's what else. Like you can't. The youth will become more and more corrupt because because they have all their needs met. Basically, these rats lived in a bubble. That's a perfect analogy. Like they live in a bubble like us in the West. They live in a bubble, right? And there are no consequences if they cannibalize. Why would you can you have all the food? Why would you cannibalize, right? Why would you? And some of the things that you could some of the counter arguments. That's what I was trying to say regarding this is like, well, not everybody lives in a bubble, and you should see like a lot of people struggle for ends meet. So that peasant like mindset of like grind, go home, sleep, sense of fulfillment, that kind of stuff is alive in a lot of the community, and that's true. Like you go in America, like yeah, that is true, right? But when you're poor, you're a warehouse worker, you're going through it. There is like, okay, those rats in the wild, they have no form of escapism. They're in the moment every day, right? They're going through it. Like they're forced to face reality every waking hour. A bird might come and fly down, swoop and take them, you know that kind of stuff, right? For me, I have shelter, and yeah, some people are homeless too, and I'd say they're a bit more aligned. But here, basically, what I'm trying to say is, if I'm like broke, right? Like I'm just low class, but I have housing. You're more susceptible to take drugs, right? You're a bit more, right? That's and what I'm trying to explain is those those areas are called ghettos. Ghettos got drug dealers, right? Ghettos have, so there's a form of escapism, and get to like desensitize yourself from these rats didn't fucking have that, right? They don't have that. They're always in the moment, so it's not really a counter argument to what I'm saying. But to the very unfortunate people that don't have housing and are clean, right? They're not on fence, right? They're just unfortunate. You know, there are shelters. They're less they're they're more in tune with their animal, like, not animal. That's a bit fucked up the way to say it, but their roots, like in the six. We're all cavemen with haircuts, really. So they're living in their primal, like that. They're they're more aligned. They're less likely to be aligned than, I don't know, Beverly Hills kid that that can you get what I'm saying. So yeah, man, behavioral sync. I just want you to, next time you scroll on TikTok, you go on YouTube, and you question, like, why are we allowing normalization of debauchery, right? Degeneracy. Why are we allowing this, right? Just know it's uh it's it's a factor that comes around when we're hitting our limit, our population limit. And I'll wrap it up with this, right? And yeah, no, I'm not like Ted Kaczynski, right? I like Civilization, but he, in his books or in his manifesto, right, talked about the power principle, how you need to have an attainable goal, and that's your sense of fulfillment. It can't be a goal that's unreachable, like flying with your hands, right? And it can't be easy, like putting on or brushing your teeth. It can't be. There has to be some work done. You have to break a sweat, and if you keep, and it has to be a goal that gives you power as well, right? Maybe it's social, maybe it's monetary, maybe it's physical, but you need to work hard and on something. Without this, and that's what I think the rats didn't have. You will go fucking crazy. No, it doesn't matter how well your life is. If you don't have a goal that you're pursuing, you will you will break down, and society will break. So no one has a real goal anymore. Nobody. People are more suicidal than ever, right? People are like you don't. I don't even have to tell you. Like, people are not even happy with how they're born. Like, girls that are light skinned have to turn dark, and vice versa. Girls with straight hair have to turn curly. It's sad, right? Nobody's has that sense of fulfillment more than the person that grinds and hustles, and yeah, that's the proper way of life. Like, the peasant was an actual Chad. He didn't really have to work that long and it was seasonal when he worked too, right? And he had the protection of his lord year round. He was conscripted if he was a male to go and fight in the name of the lord of his, like, of the village, right? But at the same time, by fighting for his lord, he's protecting his family, right? Because his family lives in that estate. So it's like, we have downgraded. Actually, we have all of our teeth still, right? We still have, like, we live longer lives and everything, but we are hollow now. You get what I'm saying? Like a mannequin looks photorealistic, but there's nothing inside when you peek in, right? The fucking peasant looks like a junkie, right? But has a heart of gold, bro. I'm not lying to you, right? Because he has that purpose. He's fighting every day in the fields, in the mines, in the on the open sea, right? So the thing you should take away from this is, find that thing that what gives you purpose is what gives you power. Okay, find something that can that is achievable. It's not too hard. It has to be that Goldilocks zone, and pursue it and see the progress every day. You're gonna want to wake up, right? You'll be that example, right? So, the better example, you'll actually, if more people were to have followed this advice, we would not have decayed as fast. Ted Kaczynski was a fucking crazy nut job, right? But he was onto something there, right? So yeah, watch out. Behavioral sync is a real thing. Watch that video. Go to into the rabbit hole. Watch that fucking video. You'll be shocked because some of the things I said, like I kind of said it poorly, right? Go watch that video. Watch. It's like 20 minutes, right? And then look in the mirror. Look in the mirror afterwards and tell me I was wrong, right? So yeah, that's the first installment of this channel. Bye.